New at noon, the Trump administration indefinitely pauses immigrant visa processing for 75 countries, including Brazil, Iran, Russia, Somalia, and Fiji. The State Department ramped up efforts in recent months, including this month, to restrict migration, especially from countries President Donald Trump has deemed a threat to national security.
If you're from one of these 75 countries, your American dream just got put on hold. And honestly, it's worse than you think. Meet Sarah. She's a software engineer from Nigeria who just got accepted for her dream job at Google interview, scheduled for February 5th, visa appointment, canceled, no explanation, no timeline, no alternative. Or take Raj from India. He's been saving for 3 years to study computer science at MIT, full scholarship, housing, arranged flight, booked, and now his entire future is in limbo. But here's what the government isn't telling you about why this happened. And trust me, when you hear the real reasons, everything will make sense before we dive in. If you or someone you know is affected by this drop, a comment below with your country. Let's see just how massive this really is. Now, let me show you the complete list of affected countries, and then I'll reveal what's actually going on. Alright, here's the moment of truth. I'm going to read through all 75 countries. If yours is on this list, leave a comment so we can understand the real scope of this crisis. Africa, 32 countries. Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt, Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Algeria, Sudan, Morocco, Angola, Ghana, Mozambique, Madagascar, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Malawi, Zambia, Somalia, Senegal, Chad, Zimbabwe, Guinea, Rwanda, Benin, Tunisia, South Sudan, Togo, Sierra Leone, Asia, 23 countries, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, Afghanistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Laos, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Palestine, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Mongolia, Latin America, and Caribbean, 12 countries, Haiti, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Bolivia, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Jamaica, Guyana, Eastern Europe, and former Soviet states, 6 countries, Ukraine, Moldova, Belarus, Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Pacific, and other 2 countries, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste. Pause this video right now and check if your country is on this list, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see this entire situation. Now, let's look at the numbers, because they tell a story. The media is completely ignoring. In 2023, the United States issued 8.5 million visas. That number dropped to 6.1 million in 2024, a 28% decrease. That's not a small dip, that's a free fall. And now, with 75 countries frozen out, we're looking at a potential collapse of the entire US visa system as we know it. So why is this happening? The official explanation is system upgrades and security enhancements. But let me break down what that actually means, because there are 3 things going on behind the scenes that nobody's talking about. Reason number 1, the biometric system overhaul. The US just rolled out a new biometric verification system that cost $1.2 billion. Sounds impressive, right? Except it processes applications 60% slower than the old system. 60%, that's like upgrading from a sports car to a bicycle. Reason number 2, the security verification backlog. Average visa processing time used to be 30 days, now 147 days. That's almost 5 months. And it's not because they're being more thorough, it's because the system is overwhelmed. They literally cannot keep up with the volume. Reason number 3, diplomatic chess. Here's where it gets political. 23 of these 75 countries are currently in what's called visa reciprocity disputes with the United States, basically diplomatic standoffs, where countries are fighting over visa fees, processing times, and treatment of their citizens. But let's talk about what this actually means for real people, because honestly, the statistics here are absolutely devastating. 412,000 student visas are currently stuck in limbo. That represents $17 billion in potential economic impact gone. just like that. Think about that for a second. $17 billion, that's money that would have gone to US universities, housing, local businesses, restaurants, transportation, all of it frozen. And it's not just students, it's families trying to reunite. It's entrepreneurs with million-dollar ideas. It's researchers who could cure diseases. It's artists, engineers, teachers, doctors, all stuck on the other side of a bureaucratic wall. Now you might be thinking, okay, this is bad for those people. But how does this affect me? Oh, buckle up, because this is where the dominoes start falling. And when I show you the ripple effects, you're gonna realize this impacts everyone. Let's start with the economy. US universities rely on international students for $40 billion annually. $40 billion. That money funds research labs, pays professors' salaries, builds campus infrastructure, and keeps entire college towns running. Now that revenue stream is at serious risk, and it gets worse. Tech companies filed 442,000 H-1B visa applications last year. These are skilled workers, engineers, developers, data scientists. If even 20% of those applications are affected by this freeze, that's 88,000 jobs left unfilled. Do you know what happens when tech companies can't fill positions, projects get delayed, products don't launch, companies lose competitive edge, and eventually they start looking elsewhere? Canada, UK, Singapore, places where they can get the talent they need. And that brings us to the global shift that's happening right now, in real time, while everyone's asleep. At the wheel, countries like India and China sent 500,000 students to the US last year. But now those students are pivoting. Canada is seeing a 34% increase in applications, the UK 28%, Australia 41%. America is literally losing the global talent war, and nobody's talking about it. Think about this for decades. The US has been the #1 destination for the world's best and brightest, that reputation. It's being destroyed overnight, and once students choose Canada or the UK or Germany, they build lives there. They start companies there. They pay taxes there. The brain drain isn't coming. It's already here now. Here's the part that nobody wants to say out loud, but I'm going to say it anyway, because the patterns are too obvious to ignore. Of the 75 countries affected, 62 have one specific thing in common, and when you see what it is, you're going to question everything you've been told about. Why this is really happening. Ready here, it is. 62 of these countries are classified as developing economies with rapidly growing tech sectors and young educated populations. In other words, countries that are becoming competitive with the United States. Coincidence, maybe. But let me give you some more data points. Immigration lawyers across the country are reporting a 340% increase in emergency consultation requests. 340%. People are panicking. Travel agencies and affected nations have seen an 89% spike in bookings to alternative countries: Canada, UK, Germany, Australia. And here's the kicker. Several countries on this list have recently launched or expanded their own visa programs designed to attract talent away from the United States. So ask yourself, is this really about security upgrades, or is this about something bigger? Okay, so what happens next? Let's run through 3 scenarios, starting with the best case situation. Scenario 1, the quick fix. Let's say this gets resolved in 60 days. System upgrades. Complete processing, resumes. Everyone celebrates, sounds great. Right? Except here's the problem, based on recovery data from the 2017 travel ban. Clearing the backlog would still take 18 to 24 months. That's 2 years of delayed dreams, missed opportunities, and lost economic activity. Even in the best case scenario, the damage is done. Scenario 2, the new normal. What if this doesn't get resolved quickly? What if this becomes standard operating procedure? Well, here's what the data suggests. If current trends continue, the United States could lose its position as the #1 destination for international students by 2027. That's a position it's held since 1975. 52 years of dominance gone. And once you lose that title, getting it back is nearly impossible. Reputation takes decades to build and seconds to destroy. Scenario 3. The escalation. Now, let's talk about the nightmare scenario. What if other countries retaliate if affected nations decide to freeze visa processing for Americans? In response, we're looking at 2.3 million Americans who travel abroad annually for business. Being unable to do their jobs, trade relationships collapse, international partnerships fall apart, global commerce grinds to a halt. This isn't fear-mongering. This is basic diplomatic cause and effect. You freeze my citizens, I freeze yours, and suddenly we're in a global visa war that nobody wins. So, what can you do about this? Whether you're directly affected or not, there are 3 things you need to do right now. Number 1, check your status. If you have any visa applications pending, go to the official US State Department website. Immediately, I've put the link in the description. Check your case status document. Everything, screenshot, confirmations, save emails. You need a paper trail. Number 2, know your alternatives. If your plans are disrupted, you need backup options. There are 5 countries with significantly faster and more reliable visa processes right now, and I'm breaking all of them down in a video. Dropping next week. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Number 3, stay informed. This situation is evolving daily. Every week, I'm posting updates on visa, policy changes, affected countries, and actionable strategies. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because missing one update could mean missing a critical opportunity. Because here's the truth, while America is closing doors, other countries are rolling out the red carpet. And next week, I'm revealing the 3 countries that are benefiting from this chaos and exactly how they're quietly becoming the new land of opportunity. You don't want to miss that drop. A comment below. Are you affected by this freeze? What country are you from? Let's start a conversation. I'll see you in the next one.